Okay, got another phone to show you all. This is a 1953 Northern Electric 302, and of course it's in Bakelite. I got this, I would say 5 years ago maybe, at an antique shop back when I was still living at home. This is, again, Northern Electric. I was surprised to see it, but what we can tell here is that all the parts are pretty much original. They're all from the same year, but the months vary, so there wasn't anything unoriginal to this phone, with the exception of the dial. So the story about the dial is that before I purchased it, I spun it and I thought, this dial is going to need a lot of oiling because it's very scratchy. But to my surprise, when I purchased it and took it home and opened it up, it's actually a 4H dial. So it has they're known to be very scratchy sounding. And these dials are also known to be found on the Western Electric 202s and so on. So these older dials tend to be louder, and when the number 5 dial was introduced, it was their goal was to come up with a dial that was much more quieter. So these dials have a very I would say like a real ratchety sound, but it's oiled very well. It's just the way the gears sound. And the clicks are very loud too. So, when the 5 dial came out, of course, it was supposed to be silent. The clicks were also supposed to be a little bit quieter. So that's just a characteristic of the number 4 dial. As you know, the 302, the Western Electric 302 was introduced in 1937. And the original 302s, or at least for the 1937 302s, had grills. Had a grill up under here, and their plungers, I think, were smaller, and they had short ears on the cradle. So given this is a 1953 302, it's going to have the taller cradle ears, the bigger Bakelite, I think these are Bakelite plungers, and of course the lack of vents. So this telephone, given that it's made in Canada, this telephone was actually used, I think, on a private system. So this particular phone number comes from Alexandria, Virginia, which is just outside of DC. So you can see that there's a regular phone number there, and there's an extension number. So this was used in an office, I'm assuming, and were not used on regular telephone lines because, Western Electric would be the primary company, or the Automatic Electric, or the various companies, but not I wouldn't think a normal subscriber would use I could be wrong, I don't know much, but this happens to be used in an office, so I think there is an exception for private systems or PABX systems. So this was an office telephone, extension phone. So I'll show you the actually, when I restored this phone was actually painted, and it was a very bad paint job. So what I did is, to remove it, I put in some hot water, and the OxiClean helped remove the bad paint job. It was just, I don't know why they painted it, but it's very, very shiny now. I think it's T-Nite. It's not Bakelite. The handset is Bakelite, but the body isn't. In the early 302s had the metal housings. So this one happens to have the Z plate, as you can see, right by the 0 at the operator. And of course you got the normal Metropolitan, that's what they call it, numbers and letters for the dial bezel. And of course, on other telephones, they had the numbers only, especially for the rural areas that didn't need this. No damage on the Bakelite, no cracks. It is shrinking just a bit, so, opening up this telephone is a bit difficult. You have to kind of pry it up a little bit, so it's a little bit snug. years of shrinking. This telephone works well. Let me show you. So you can see the bakelite is pretty worn. You can see Northern Electric Company Limited, patented 1923, 1935, made in Canada. And you can still see there's a bit of paint still in the handset. I think their whole goal was to, I removed the paint off the handset too, but it was a bad paint job. This one has the acrylic cord. Show you this side as well. It's got leather feet. And of course, they're wearing off because you can see the one on the top right-hand corner there. It's kind of ripping. There's no markings on the bottom. All the stamps are on the inside of the telephone, so the pictures will come at the end. So yeah, it's a nice telephone to have. I've had this for quite a while and just never did a video of it. So it's a really cool Northern Electric 302 from 1953. Very late production of the 302. So then what we'll do next is we'll do the demonstration of the functionality of the telephone and the working condition. And you can see before we do that, you know, I installed a modern cord to it so I can plug it in right away. So give me a second to get the machine and we will be right back. Turn the machine on. So what we'll do first is I'll pick up the handset and we'll do the transmitter. So you have dial tone. Let me also put it on the other side too so you can hear it. Okay, you can see as I speak into the telephone, the change of the light there. That demonstrates that the transmitter is working at 100%. So that's good. And these are no fail, you know, very good quality. So what I'll do here is I'll dial a few numbers. Okay. And now what we'll do is I'm going to situate this phone here in another way. All right, here we go. I hope you enjoyed this video of the 1953 Northern Electric 302, you know, late production with the wonderful 4H dial, you know, that really loud, satisfying, ratchety sound with the clicks. And pictures will be coming up of the inside and its components. So I hope you enjoyed this. More videos are to come, and thank you very much for watching.